Oh, mate, it's time. It's that time once again where we cave and we say, nuts to Bionicle. Let's talk about Hero Factory. It is a great theme and it deserves its day in the sun. So let's showcase some incredible Hero Factory mocks to inspire you to build some yourself. Let's begin things off with this incredible revamp of DRAGONBOLT by Kalahiki Art. So seeing side-by-side images with the original set, you can see how impressive and huge this revamp is. And I'm so obsessed with this thing. Kalahiki has turned what was one of the coolest Hero Factory sets into a behemoth, a titan, a force to be reckoned with. These powerhouse muscles on these shoulders, that thick and big belly, he's a little chunky and I love it. Those powerful legs. Everything about this looks so menacing, so beefy. They look like the final boss from a video game, or they look like a kaiju fresh out of a monster movie. This is awesome. Now, I really like this torso design, the way they've used these printed torso pieces. These ones appeared on the Queen Beast set, this one here. If you want to see the piece up close, this is it up close. But yeah, man, placing 3 of these on the belly here, well, I suppose it's more of the chest for DRAGONBOLT, but still, I think that's a very nice detail. This could just be some kind of like dragon scales, or it could be something a little bit better, a little bit cooler. Now, remember, his name is DRAGONBOLT, so maybe there's some like electricity or lightning that's coursing through their belly or inside their body, and you can physically see it from the outside. It's kind of like some versions of Godzilla when they're charging up, their body starts to glow a little bit, especially on the chest as well. So I see these printed pieces being a little something like that. Now also the inclusion of some lightning pieces on the wings and the tip of the tail, that's a nice way to continue those lightning vibes, which are obviously present on DRAGONBOLT given that his name is DRAGONBOLT. Another great inclusion is the use of an Onawa G2 torso piece, the big one in black. That's being repurposed here for some upper leg armor. Such a great way to use that piece, especially because it is such a large piece, and when you're building such a large mock like this, you can actually start to use that piece and it be a little bit more easy to integrate it into a mock. Yeah, it looks great here on this leg design. Now, honestly, everything about this mock is incredible. It's just brilliant and really well built. And I feel like this looks like the mental image I have of DRAGONBOLT in my head. You know, if they were to adapt Hero Factory into some kind of like big blockbuster movie, I wish they would, that'd be amazing. I feel like DRAGONBOLT would look closer to this mock than he would his actual set. Or at least something like that. Alright, Frenez J is the next builder we'll be highlighting today, and they've revamped the fire villain Nitro Blast. So this is a cool take on the character. At first when I saw this, I thought, oh yeah, they're really upping the amount of black and gunmetal that's on this toy, and making him look like he's wearing some kind of like armor or a power suit. Maybe this suit is supposed to give them like resistance to fire, and as a result they can be a big old pyromaniac and launch their flamethrower and burn everyone but not themselves. But then I looked at the original set and I realized, actually there's a lot of gunmetal and black that's already on this set. So Frenez J really is just removing a lot of the red that was on the limbs, and I guess slightly increasing the amount of gunmetal and black. I don't know, that distribution of color isn't something I've seen on revamps of Nitro Blast in the past, but I think it looks really good. Really good. Yeah, all of this, it just tidies up the color scheme a fair bit, and I think a lot of these darker colors, with this sick grey armor, it does make them feel all that more villainous, which is perfect for the character, isn't it? Now, I do also love this flamethrower. It's a lot bigger than it was on the original set, and all of these interesting light grey mechanical details, they look great. I think this is a wonderful revamp, especially because it kind of looks like he's got hair coming out of his mask now with some of those spikes. That's kind of fun. We got ourselves a funky revamp here of Vapor, and this is built by Onigek 9000. So yeah, they've kept the rough beats that the original set had, the mask, the colors, but they've totally changed up the shape of the body. And this new look with a big blaster and a cool like posable shoulder turret, it's giving kind of like Black Ops vibes or some sort of soldier vibes, which is an interesting and very fun way to take this character. Not one I've seen before, but I like it. This torso design's a lot of fun, using some of these smaller blue panel pieces and having them flare off in kind of like a V shape. It's just got a really dynamic look to it. Yeah, this is great, because, Vapor doesn't get that much love, but he was a really cool set and a really fun character. So I'm glad to see a revamp of him that, is giving him the love that he deserves. Also, be sure to check the links in the description, especially for this mock, because you might have noticed there's that hero core there on the torso. Well, there's a whole backstory for this mock on Instagram. Go and give that a read and you can learn a little bit about that. I thought it was a really interesting backstory with the little bit that I did read. Paul X mock building has an incredible revamp of Bulk. I love this. Now, reimagining Brain Attack Bulk, I have on record said that is my least favorite Hero Factory set. I'm just not a fan of that mask. I don't know, I have to do a separate video on Bulk one day, and then I can go into why I'm just not a fan of that mask. But hey, this revamp, it makes that set look incredible. The best thing here though has to be the weapons. 2 drill hands. That's some nice stuff. We like to see that. Now, Bolt could do some mining with this, he could maybe use it for some search and rescue missions, or he could use it as a weapon against the villains. It's a really fun multi-purpose weapon. But what makes this weapon even better is that they can detach, and then underneath he has normal hands. Because that's always been something that I've always questioned whenever you see any type of character, and they don't actually have any, posable fingers. Because, if you just had drills for hands, your life would suck. What would you do if you wanted to hug someone? You'd probably accidentally kill them because you'd stab them with your drills. What if you needed to answer a phone call? You'd drill into your phone and you'd break it. It would suck. So the practicality of being able to remove these drills and have hands, I like to see that on this mock. It makes it just feel that little bit more realistic, because this is how it would be if it was the real world, right? And something else that's cool about the fact that these can remove, in this shot here, we can see that they are being stowed on the back, along with a big old shield as well. Just adds even more to that realism when there's a place for them to be stored as well. And plus, given that this is reimagining Brain Attack Bulk, it's great to see both the shield and the drills, which were of course present on the original set. But they've been upgraded that little bit and they just look so much better here. It's fantastic stuff. He does look pretty good with a shield. Now, I do also like this bulkier shoulder armor that kind of goes a little bit above the head as well. There's a very nice energy to that, and just a great energy to this character as well. There's something very dynamic about having drill arms and some of the cool poses that he's in here. It's a really good upgrade to this set. Well done. Oh, now for something special. It's your favorite and mine, it's Core Hunter, and this mock was made by Inspiration to Creation. Mate, this feral, spiky, spiny, wild look for Core Hunter, it is a very different take on the character, but I dig it. It reminds me of Star Wars, how the dark side can have a physical effect on people's bodies. It can decay their body, it can change the look of their face, it can make their skin not look so good, make their fingernails gross, their eye color can change. It does all sorts of unnatural and gross stuff. And I get that sense here with Core Hunter. Maybe he's been so blinded by hate and anger after he stopped being a hero and became a villain. He was just so consumed by revenge. He just wanted to get back at that dang hero factory. And as a result, it started to mutate his body and made him all spiky and gross. If he just had one therapy session, he'd be way better. Or, maybe some of his angry villainous pursuits, they allowed him to tap into some type of evil magic, or he found a weird artifact that caused his body to become mutated and spiky. Whatever it is, I think it's actually a really sick story. And a good story for a villain character too. Some of the nice details on this mock include the belt of cores that's around his chest, the teeth coming out of his mask, that's great. And I love this spiky hunched back. It's what you expect out of a villain character. It's maybe not what you expect out of Core Hunter, but I like a really different take like this. It's good to see something refreshing every now and then. Yeah, I can honestly say I've never seen this before on a Core Hunter mock. Now the final mock today, this is by Mr. R03, and it's a remake of William Ferno. So you can see it pretty well in this group photo here. The biggest change for Ferno here is his torso design. It still captures the same energy and rough look of the original torsos, but it's made out of totally different pieces. And I always like seeing people reimagining and rebuilding existing Lego pieces, but making it out of totally different parts. That's a fun challenge, isn't it? Try and match something exactly, but using other pieces. And how good does it look when someone nails it, like they did on this mock? Oh, and I do always like seeing any 1.0 hero with posable limbs, with elbows and knees. Because I think that 1.0 hero design is really good. The only thing that's lacking is a bit of articulation. And look, seeing this mock in a couple different action poses, especially these ones here where he's fighting Kuroda and then beating them up and slicing them up, they look so cool. And it's all thanks to that articulation, isn't it? So if you've got a 1.0 hero lying around, give them some posable limbs. It's a really minor upgrade, but I think it does so much. So that's it for a Hero Factory themed episode of the Bionicle Inspiration series. Hopefully it gave you some inspiration, and if it did, let me know. I'd love to see what mocks you made as a result of watching this video. Be sure to check the links in the description and see more from the builders that I featured today. Also, if you want to see your mocks on the Bionicle Inspiration series, you can submit them to the submission email that's currently on your screen right now. It's also in the description below, so checking that description, it sounds like a pretty good thing to do. Anyway guys, love you tons, happy building, and bye for now.